All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and also to their elders, the men that taught them. I pray the Lord have peace, blessings, and mercy upon the households of the hopeful elect. This is the brother Shema Wan from the Great Millstone Houston Church. And tonight I want to come with a lesson, just meditating on Apostle Tahar's video going into, I believe the title was, Yo, This Is a Bad Look. What happened with the ISUPK. And just a few things that I've caught from it. With the little time that I was watching it, I was about 16 minutes in. And a few red flags, one, the doctrine that they teach going into how it's a sin if an Israelite man is, dealing with a woman from another nation. That's going off. Read Numbers, the 12th chapter, starting at the top, and see how the Lord dealt with Moses and how he dealt with Miriam, But, and just a few other things, how the attention is being brought on the Israelites right now, according to prophecy. The time of Jacob's trouble is in effect right now. It's just going to continue to turn up. But at the end of the day, according to prophecy, the focus is going to be on a certain group of people. And these other camps are fulfilling their lot perfectly, by bringing a bad taste to the world, under the banner of a Hebrew Israelite. ISUPK, IUIC, and these other camps, out there, But if you've seen the video, or if not, Lord willing, I'll copy the link and put it in the comment section. But, a scoffer, a comedian was out there, mocking ISUPK out there, while they were on the block. And Vocab Malone was commentating on the video and just getting off on it, because it's funny right now. It's funny right now while people can laugh, it was being done in the earth. But the Lord is bringing the proper attention, perfectly, where prophecy is going to be fulfilled. And this is what I'm thinking about. Revelation chapter 12 and 17, it says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, the remnant of Israel, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." So you could, according to prophecy, our enemy, who is the Edomites, they're gonna come against, a remnant, a separation, 1447. On the little Hyundai called Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. They're going to come against a remnant of the nation of Israel, right? Which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay, and you could see the hell that's coming upon Israel in, just in general. Jeremiah 30:7, a time like never before is coming up on the earth, even a time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble has begun. It's just going to continue to intensify and get to the point where you can't compare it to the time it was during the days of Noah, or how it was during the times of the transatlantic slave trades, or, the Trail of Tears. The time is going to come where it's going to be so oppressive on the earth, and the Lord is going to come back to find a remnant with faith. The Lord is going to come back and find a remnant, right? But let's see the difference with a remnant. This dude is scamming people in the parking lot. Anyway, let's focus on this. Let's deal with the remnant, how it said, a remnant of her seed. Let's go to Isaiah real quick. Hold on, man. Real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. So just touching on Revelation 13 and Revelation 12 and 17 again real quick. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. Esau is going to come up against the nation of Israel because it is a perpetual hatred. It was like that from the womb, from the beginning. And it's like that still to this day. It's going to be like that until the end. Okay? Jeremiah 6 and 2 tells you the woman, the Lord likens Israel unto a woman. All right? Then it says, and they went to make war with the remnant of her seed. The remnant of her seed is going to no longer, believe in the bullshit, no longer be polluted by the doctrines and philosophies, in the bread and circus, in the gimmicks, that you were, forced to, you were force fed, so to speak. You're not going to be persuaded or, compromised by the world that you're around, or the world that you're in. How they say, you're in the world, but not of the world. You know why? Because it says, such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, back in Isaiah 10 and 20, jumping in the middle, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. Going into that word stay, I believe in the Hebrew is sha'ain, to mean like to rely on or to trust in. And those that smote them are their enemies, the Edomites. The same one is speaking about in Revelation 12 and 17. These are the same niggas that are going to come against you Israelites. Okay? But, the average Israelite doesn't understand that. Even with what's going on the earth, cutting the food stamps and the benefits and just all of this shit ain't just no damn, coincidence. This all has everything to do with prophecy. A time of trouble is coming for the Israelites. Why? Because it's time for judgment. All the mocking and scoffing and not taking heed unto, the testimony of Yahweh Shai. The Lord is going to require all of those, idle words, all of the mocking and scoffing. Like it says in Proverbs, the first chapter, you can start at the 20th verse. In the day of your calamity, the Lord is going to laugh. And the Lord is going to laugh through his prophets and those that believe in him. So finishing this. So it says, so they shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Yeah, the Lord is going to quicken your spirit. You're going to understand, the testimony of Yahweh Shai, the will of the Lord. You're going to keep his commandments. You're going to have faith in Yahweh Shai, and you're going to have works in faith. You're no longer going to live according to the course of this world, worshiping holidays, eating unlawful, just doing away with the law. You're not going to forsake the law. You're going to actually acknowledge the law. But you're going to understand the only way to be saved is through having faith in Yahweh Shai. That's what is going to be in the minds of those, in Isaiah chapter 10 and 20. Then it says the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob unto the mighty power. The Lord ain't saving everybody. And every nation ain't getting saved. It's a remnant of the Israelites. It says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. So a remnant is going to return, and receive the truth and stay upon the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of these scriptures. While in today's time it's going to be deemed as something negative. That's why it's going to be the target. not forgetting the point in Revelation chapter 12 and 17, the dragon is going to target the Israelites, especially those that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Like it says, the only way to enter into the kingdom is through much tribulation. It's a test of our faith at the end of the day. And a lot of Jake out here, playing and just thinking this is a game, but they're not going to escape judgment. You know how it says in the book of 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, 17 verse, I believe, judgment is going to start at the house of Israel. Then if it starts, with us, how much more those that don't know the truth, roughly paraphrasing, So the Lord, this thing ain't no joke. Hell is coming, and the Lord is finna use Esau, as that belt to whoop Jake's ass. And the Lord is about to test those that have faith. But see, that's the thing. We understand prophecy. We're preparing ourselves, unlike the rest of, Jake out here just, thinking, oh, that's not gonna happen in our time. But it's like, nigga, look at what's going on. Look at what's going on right now. But let me finish this. So back in Revelation. Now that was the point. I finished it. Let me see how long. 11 minutes. Let me get Acts. And just thinking about Apostle Dahar's video again. These other camps are bringing that negative light on the truth, stirring up, everybody. Jake is getting stirred up. These nations are getting stirred up, where they're actually going out and mocking in person and scoffing in person. But it's all according to prophecy. And that's how, you can see it's already stirring, shit is already getting stirred up, where the target is coming down, where the Israelites that know the truth, not just, the northern tribe, Hispanics catching hell because they're illegal immigrants. No, it's going to come down to the point where they're going to target those with the truth, and if you have faith in the Lord, you're going to be tested. But that's the thing, understanding prophecy, there's something to look forward to. It's called the kingdom. It's called victory. Because Yahweh Shai said this real quick in John 16 and 33. It's one of my favorite scriptures. John 16 and 33, it says, these things, real quick, let me start at verse 1. Just to give context, words that the Lord told unto the disciples. John 16 and 1. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. And if you keep reading, the Lord went into some, let's just read it. It says, verse 2, they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service. So Yahweh Shai was telling him it's going to come a time where people are actually going to kill you, and they're going to think that they're justified by it. Like they're doing a good deed for it. And mind you, he was speaking to his disciples in these times, but that still applies to us in these times, but because according to prophecy, a remnant of the remnant of Israel that keeps the commandments and that has a testimony of Yahweh Shai, hey, Esau is finna come down and make war against us. That's gonna happen according to prophecy, but that's not the end all be all. Yahweh Shai gave us the warning. He let us know. So guess what? Thinking about other precepts, Yahweh Shai said, don't fear those. Don't fear those that can kill you. Hey, you better fear the Lord. Just thinking about everything Yahweh Shai told us that we got to believe in and run with. He already let us know what it's going to be. As far as the persecutions, okay, even until death. And it's going to take the spirit of the Lord to endure. It's not going to be no carnal deliverance. So you follow camps that's about that carnal shit. That's not it. This is a spiritual matter. Focus on the doctrine, like it says in the book of Timothy, that's able to save you. You know, these scriptures are powerful. You know, having faith is spiritual. It ain't no, it ain't just through works. No, it's works, and it's something through the spirit. That's the thing. A lot of Jake think just because you put on fringes and wear a beard and you can march and fight, you a god and a king. But it's like, nah, the real guys, they got the spirit of the Lord. This ain't just no mighty powerful in the flesh type of shit. These are spiritual matters. So pay attention to who you follow and what they teach. Let me get John 16 and verse 33 and I'm out. It says, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So there's a victory. Tribulation is coming, and it ain't gonna be light. It ain't gonna be light. And you can see, these other camps are being set up perfectly. The Lord is using them to bring that shit on, and the Lord is watching. Those that are sincere, the Lord is watching it. And that's it. So I pray this was edifying unto the Lord's elect, and Lord willing, until next time, I say shalom.